welcome to 1600. We're killing time right now. We're waiting for an interview here at Lisner Auditorium. And we're waiting for Bob to go wrestle down the talent.
All right.
Take a smoke break later.
You betcha.
All right. And,
It's cozy.
yeah.
Speak up, Bob.
Welcome to the beautiful Lisner Auditorium. We're backstage tonight with our guest, Richard Thompson. And Richard's here with the 1,000 Years of Popular Music Tour.
Yes, indeed. Yes, yes.
And I was looking into that a little bit. I've seen it a couple of times. But I understand we sort of have Hugh Hefner to thank for this in a backward kind of way.
And for so many things.
And for so many things.
So many things. You know, what that man has changed Western civilization in ways incalculable. Yes, it was his idea indirectly. I was up at the mansion one day, you know, in the hot tub.
Your smoking jacket.
In my smoking jacket, as one does, and he says, well, what do you think are the 10 greatest songs of the millennium? Actually, he actually did this by email, but in fact. And
Virtual hot tub.
to 300 other musicians as well, in the virtual hot tub of emailed them. So for their Millennium issue, that they wanted people to send in a list of the 10 greatest songs of all time. And I thought, Millennium, that's a big word for Playboy. And I thought, that means 1,000 years, doesn't it? Do they really mean 1,000 years, or do they just mean the last 20 years? So I thought, well, okay, I'll start my list, you know, in 1080, you know, with St. Godric, you know, who wrote some pretty toe-tapping tunes, bit moralizing, but you know, pretty good stuff. And then I worked my way slowly and inexorably through the centuries, and I sent my list in, and of course they lost mine conveniently, and didn't print it. But that gave us the idea for this show. I was asked to do a show at the Getty Museum in Los Angeles, and they said, you know, if I could do a show different from my usual performance, because they were doing a series of weird stuff. So I said, well, this is weird. You know, we'll do this. So that went very well, and we did it again the next year at the Getty, and then we kind of took it to other places, and the rest is history or something.
Musical history.
Yeah.
Is this the third leg of the 1,000 years?
I've lost count. I'm not sure how many legs there are. How many tours have we actually toured it? Yeah, 2 or 3 times, I'm not sure. We did a week in New York at Joe's Pub, and we've done various other things. We did, you know, we've done sort of academic ones, you know, like different.
But we've only got one recording so far.
There's one CD recording, and there's a DVD, which is a different recording. So
Any plans for the second?
Well, we're thinking about part 2, but because the material gets swapped out all the time, so well, we might barely have enough for a part 2 and a part 3.
In doing this and coming through it and doing different set lists, how difficult is it to winnow down the best popular music of 1,000 years?
Well, it's a lie. You know, it's not actually the best popular music of 1,000 years. That will be probably really bad. You know,
Sort of unpopular.
well, if you say, you know, well, what's the most popular? Okay, well, you know, Barbara Allen, it'd be a sort of popular folk song. You know, which drives me crazy. You know, I Gave My Love a Cherry or something. You know, probably something from The Sound of Music. You know, true popularity doesn't really mean it's any good. So, so the title is misleading, but it's a bit long-winded to say. You know, 1,000 years of the songs that we really like to play and are barely able to play, which is what it is. It's stuff that we can physically play, stuff that we like, and yeah, that's about it really. You know, it's the stuff that we can reduce to you know, guitar and percussion.
Now, obviously, trying to do a Benjamin Britten piece would be a little difficult, but what criteria do you have for the songs you choose?
Well, I mean, you know, we do Gilbert and Sullivan, you know, which is, you know, we do Henry Purcell, which is a reduction. We could probably do Benjamin Britten if we really wanted to. Could do excerpts from Peter Grimes or something, just to keep it going.
Judith mentioned that, actually.
Yeah, did she? I hope she's working on it. Yeah.
But this expanded from a one-man show to now a one-man and two-woman show.
Yeah. Well, I've always done it with a percussionist, so it's always been, you know, 1 plus 1.
And Judith Owen and Deborah Dobkin, of course,
Yep.
are your accompanists this time.
Yeah, which is great. I think it works really well because we've got 3 voices, and that means that we can do lots of vocal things. You know, starting in sort of 11:50. You know, where we can do interesting vocal arrangements. We can do We can do a madrigal, you know, from Elizabethan times. We can do Gilbert and Sullivan. We can do the Ink Spots, and we can do, you know, Nelly Furtado. You know, we can do a whole range of stuff. You know.
Brittany really wants you to get this song of hers back in your act because she needs her residuals right now, the royalties.
Well, I understand. Don't think
She's going
she
through some tough times.
She didn't write it, so she doesn't get any.
Oh,
but,
that's right.
Yeah.
She didn't write anything, did she?
And actually, you know, because of the state of Brittany, we took it out of the set because we thought, well, we didn't want it to be, you know, misinterpreted as being a sort of an ironical comment on her current condition.
Cast
So
any aspersions on her.
yeah, poor girl, you know, she's in a state.
So why isn't any of your music in?
Well, it might be a little pretentious to say, you know, hey, here's the best songs of the last 1,000 years. Oh, and here's a couple of mine.
We would argue.
Yeah.
But I sure wouldn't. So that's a different show. You know, the idea of this show is it's not my music, and I think the audience accepts that.
Well, we've learned to, but we're hoping that you're going to come back soon and do some of your own.
Well, I always come back. Yeah, I'm always here. You know, I'm here every year.
Times a year?
Yeah, well, certainly at least once a year.
That's why
Doing-
the latest album, Sweet Warrior, I thought should have been Road Warrior as much as you tour.
Yeah.
And here it is, so we can
Yeah,
kind
if you
of
haven't picked
show
it up
this
yet.
to the folks at home. This is a fantastic record. One of our picks for you know the best albums of
Well, thank you.
'07.
There we go.
Thank you. Well, I was really pleased with it, and I hope other people get to hear it. You know.
And Simon Tassano, of course, your co-producer and co-conspirator for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
This thing's ringing again. I turned this off about an hour ago.
Didn't stay.
Goodbye.
They come, they go.
But I guess he's
He's co-producer on this.
co-producer
yeah.
on
Mhm,
this,
mhm.
and
Well, Simon's you know, he's basically a sound engineer, so I thought it was a good idea to rope him in on this one, you know, and you know, extract his skills if
he said
possible.
he loves his job. He said touring with you is like the best thing in the world.
Damn,
He
I'm
spent a
paying
lot
him
of
too much
time on
money.
the road.
Well, we'll spend a lot of time on the road. Well, you know, I hope it's fun, and I hope it stays fun, and we try and make it an enjoyable experience. I think you can be on the road and just kill yourself. You can just burn out, you know, in a couple of years, and you know. But so we try and pace it, to try not to push ourselves too hard. Just keep it at a reasonable level. But you know, we probably do 100 shows a year, which is quite a lot.
And you've been putting out at least one record pretty much every year for the last 20 or so.
Yeah, we certainly try to, and if we don't have a studio thing there, then we try and put out, you know, these, you know, live shows or something, you know, to put them out on the website, and that's another way for, you know, the desperate, rabid fans.
And that's
So-
Richard Thompson.
Richard
Music.
Thompson -music.com. Yeah.
-music.com. So
Mhm.
there's already a link on our website to that. So
Thank you.
if you're tuning in on the internet, then go right to our links page and look up more of Richard's tremendous career.
We've had 47 hits in the last year, so on the website.
Hey, that's good.
We're doing good. We're
That's
doing
pretty
well.
good.
I was surprised in
Only
watching
2 people, but yeah.
in watching a movie recently.
Yeah.
You know, big blockbuster American film for last year. In the very end credits, I happened to catch your name for a movie called Knocked Up.
Oh, Knocked Up. Yeah, yeah.
And that, I knew that you'd done stuff, you know, like Grizzly Man, and I watched the documentary for that.
Yeah.
How do you get involved in movie music?
Well, I happened to be in town. It's one of those things. Well, you know, I'm an old friend of Loudon Wainwright's, and Loudon was given the responsibility of writing the soundtrack for that record. And then he cooperated with Joe Henry, another fine songwriter. And at various points, you know, I did sessions for that record. And it overlapped into Loudon's album as well, because Loudon's album was the songs from the movie.
Right.
So some stuff went into Loudon's album, some stuff went into the movie, some stuff ended up on the cutting room floor. I haven't quite figured out what I'm playing on, you know, or where it went, but we did some sessions in the UK, did a bunch of stuff there. I did some sessions at Joe Henry's house, whole bunch of stuff. You know, we did a fair bit of work on that record and that movie.
How is that different? I mean, I got the idea from watching Grizzly Man, the documentary of that, that was just such a completely unique experience from a musician standpoint.
Yeah.
in doing that. To have to do that